What's up, Yugi nerds? It's your boy Reaper here, and today I am deck profiling Sky Striker. That's right, we have Engage back at 1, which makes Sky Striker a whole lot better than it has been in the last year or so. I actually played this deck in the Remote Duel YCS that just took place not too long ago. I also want to give a shout out to my boy Zach, aka R2 Dalek, my boy Dark Arm Duelist, and my boy Sharp Shot for helping me acquire all the cards that I needed for this deck before the YCS. Unfortunately, I did not place after day 1, but you know, it happens. It was my first ever YCS to participate in, and honestly, you know, I lost, but it was a great experience overall. Without further ado, let's get right on into this deck profile. Alrighty, we have 3 Sky Striker Rays. We have 2 Sky Striker Rose. We got 3 Ash Blossom. We have 2 Ghost Bell. We have 2 Effect Veiler. We have 2 Droll and Lockbird. We have 2 Skullmeister. We have 3 Sky Striker Area 0. We have 3 Sky Striker Widow Anchor. We have 2 Sky Striker Shark Cannon. We have 2 Sky Striker Afterburners. We have 1 Jamming Waves, 1 Hornet Drones, 1 Multi-Roll, and 1 Sky Striker Engage. Next, we have 3 Pot of Desires. We have 1 Mystic Mine, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Raigeki, 1 Upstart Goblin, 1 Terraforming. Alright, going into the traps, we do have 2 Infinite Impermanents, and 1 There Can Be Only One. I've been thinking, like, when it comes to the side deck, I typically swap these out for either Harpy's Feather Duster or Heavy Storm Duster, especially if you're going up against a deck in Game 2 that is running something like Imperial Order. It is always nice to have those Heavy Storm Dusters. Alright, going into the extra deck, we do have 1 Sky Striker Kaina. We have the 2 Hayates. We have 3 Kagari. We have the 3 Shizuku. We have the 1 Zeke, the 1 Nightmare Phoenix, the Halka Fibrax, the Selene, and the Boral Sword. Now, I know typically you're supposed to be running Access Code Talker, but I am broke. I cannot afford an Access Code Talker, so I gotta go for the Boral Sword, you know. And honestly, I know that that's 14 cards in the extra deck. I was actually trying to look for my 3rd copy of Hayate, so that way I could run 3 of them instead of 2, because who doesn't like to attack directly and then, you know, send a card from deck to grave, especially in Sky Striker. So I would recommend running 3. If I could find my other one, I would definitely be running 3. Alrighty, guys, that wraps it up for the deck profile. Let's hop on over to EDO Pro, and I can show you what this deck can do. Alrighty, guys, we are here on EDO Pro. I got my Sky Strikers here. We're gonna go ahead and do some test hands and see what we can make happen. Alright, so going first, this is pretty alright. This is alright. This is decent. What we can do here is we can go ahead, normal summon our Ray. From here, we're going to special summon. Let's go ahead and just special summon Shizuku, turn 1. From there, let's go ahead and end phase it, so that way we can get the Sky Striker Shizuku effect. Now this deck really isn't meant for going first. It's really meant for going second. So right here we're going to go ahead and add let's go ahead and add a Widow Anchor. Let's add a Widow Anchor. Alright, our opponent would go. They would probably find a way to get over Shizuku because there's not a whole lot going for it other than the fact that it decreases my opponent's monster's attacks by 100 for every spell that I have in the graveyard. Currently, I don't have any spells in the graveyard, which is very bad for Sky Strikers because you typically want to have at least 3 or more spells in the graveyard at all times. But I just didn't really have anything, especially going first, to utilize my spells with. So our opponent ends turn. Alright, now let's get some shenanigans going. Let's get some spells in the grave. Let's go ahead and activate Terraforming. We're going to add that area 0 from deck to hand. Get our first spell of the game in there. Let's activate that area 0. We're going to activate it by targeting our Shizuku. So that way we can excavate the top 3 cards of our deck and hopefully add a Sky Striker card. Yes, we're going to add a Sky Striker card here. We're going to add Hornet Drones from deck to hand, sending Shizuku from the field to the grave. Alright, from here, we can go ahead and activate our Hornet Drone, so that way we can get a Sky Striker token. So that way we can go into our Sky Striker Ace Hayate. Then we can proceed into battle phase to activate Hayate's effect to declare a attack. Her effect is that she can attack directly, and then once she does battle damage, she can send a Sky Striker card from deck to grave. So what we want to do is to secure our Mobilize Engage in the grave, so that way if we do draw into a Pot of Desires, we know that we're not going to lose our Engage, right? Alright, so from here we're going to go main phase 2. We're going to special summon our Kagari. So that way we can add our Engage from deck to hand. We can then go ahead and activate the Engage. So we can set ourselves up for the next turn. Go ahead and add a Ray from deck to hand. Let's see here. From here, we would probably, if our opponent had monsters on the field, we would probably activate Raigeki, giving us an additional spell in the graveyard, so that way we could perform even more crazy shenanigans. Well, let's go ahead and go into that Shizuku one more time. Go to end phase, activate Shizuku. Oh man, I forgot. I misclicked. My bad. That's why I don't like really playing on EDA Pro, because you do have the potential to misclick. Let's see here. So from here, we're going to go into our last copy of Hayate. We're not going to chain anything else. We're going to go into battle phase, attack. No, we can't activate you yet properly. Let's go ahead and send a Widow Anchor from deck to grave. We're going to go into main phase 2, where then we can proceed to do some crazy shenanigans with our actual Sky Striker cards. This deck is really like, trying to showcase this deck without an opponent is kind of rough, and it's also kind of rough to showcase this deck going first because it is a going second deck. But yeah, no, the primary objective is to get, like, to mill your spell cards to the grave, so that way you can activate effects like Widow Anchor, which if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you can target one face-up effect monster on the field, negate that face-up monster's effects until the end of this turn. Then, if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can take control of that monster until the end phase. So basically, you're sending spells and getting spells in your graveyard, so that way you can negate and destroy your opponent's monsters, as well as utilize the effects of your extra deck monsters, such as Hayate, Kagari to add your Sky Striker spells from graveyard to hand, as well as Shizuku, which allows you to add Sky Striker cards from your deck to your hand at the end phase. That's honestly pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's short. I know I didn't get to fully showcase this deck. Maybe one day I'll get an opponent and I can show you guys what this deck can really do. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you want to see more deck profile videos and more in-depth videos, let me know. Let me know. If you guys want to see more of what the Sky Striker deck can do, maybe I can set up a live duel so that way I can show you guys the full potential of this deck. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye!